मोहित वेटिंग रूम देख लेना जरा।
ओके
देखो पोज बना दियो।
देख रहा हूँ।
चल जो कैन स्टार्ट। Start. Yes. So 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, and welcome to the third pre-event of TEDxSFIT. And this pre-event is Take the Bait. Yeah, the team has come up with a really funny wordplay. So our today's event is going to be there for 2 days. So today is going to be day 1, and we're going to have tomorrow as the day 2. We have 8 amazing teams, and each team has 2 debaters. So today we'll be having 4 matches, and those who win in today's matches will go tomorrow for the semifinals, followed by the final rounds. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to also introduce our judges. So we have 2 judges. One is our very own Praveen Matthew sir, and second one is someone who is known for debating a really long time, who's been a star of Mind Clash too. We have Lenin Bardeskar with us. Hi Lenin. Hi. Hello Praveen sir.
Hello Joel, good to be here.
Good to have you all both over here. Okay, so
I'm very happy to be with Lenin over here.
Great. It's good to have you all both over here. Having a student and a professor, we get to know both your viewpoints, both your ideas on different topics. So it's actually something which we all look forward to. And yeah, I would like to get on with the debate. So I would just like to explain a couple of rules to begin with. So we'll have 1 minute for an opening statement, followed by which we'll have 1.5 seconds, that is 1.5 minutes, sorry, that is 90 seconds for a refutal round. Now, in the refutal round, it's broken up again into 2 rounds. So the opposition gets to go first for the refutal round, followed by which we have a concluding speech, which is going to be of 1 minute. Buzzers will be, I will give out the warning calls at 45 seconds and 90 seconds for the refutal rounds. And once the 60-second mark for the opening speech and closing the speech is reached. Okay, moving on, we will dive straight in for our very first debate. And so our first debate is going to be between Mervin, with our first team is going to be Mervin and Anushka. They're going to debate against Simran and Sanika. Their topic is, will online classes replace the classrooms in the future? Now, Mervin and Anushka will be against the topic, and we have Simran Sanika for the topic. So I'd like to turn over the stage, and yeah, the floor is now open for our very first debate. All the best, and let's hope we learn some new perspectives and some new ideas. Please, over to you all.
Okay, Lenin will be our moderator as well, so he'll tell you when to start and stop. And Mohite will give you the timer. Okay, so when it's 15 seconds left, Mohite will text it in the chat, and Joel will give you the final timer. Okay, the final warning. Lenin, you can go ahead.
Okay. We are going with this thing. The 4 team will introduce first.
Yes, so the proposition, you all can go ahead.
Yeah, the proposition will start. Stick to the topic. Don't go too much beyond it, and respect one another. Let's go. Okay, let's begin.
Okay, so I'd like to open this debate with a few very obvious points about the online classes. Like obviously flexibility is one of the things. A student can study from anywhere in the world at any time. Then other than that, the introverts have got a great opportunity to chat in the chat box and interact with their teachers who couldn't come up in the classroom. And the tech side, I would strongly like to highlight this point. with the new educational policy amendment, we can see that our Prime Minister is focusing on the tech side. He is promoting the students to get technicals, to learn AI, to learn ML, and for the students to learn such things. I think an early stage and a foundation is very necessary, and introducing students to online education would be one. I mean, there are many underprivileged students who don't even get to use laptops till they're in college. So I think online education will help to introduce students to tech also. So yeah, that's necessary, and
Okay, your
I
1 minute is
think
up.
online education.
1 minute is up.
Okay, let's go for the opposition to introduce.
Good evening. I'll be giving the opening opposition statement for will online classes replace actual classrooms in future. There are several vantage points from which we can draw considerations, and I will be exploring, such as ethics, psychology, feasibility, cyber safety, and quality of education. Now, we all know that today's generation has an extremely short attention span. We demand instant gratification, and we all need our daily social media dopamine shot. Think back to how many times you logged into Snapchat and Instagram today on your own online lectures. This is obviously a very serious hindrance to online learning. And this hindrance is also faced by teachers. Since they can't see our faces, they don't understand whether or not we're understanding the syllabus. This is a very strong obstacle when it comes to substantial learning. Also, there's this extreme problem of cybersecurity. There have been increasing cases of sextortion, cyberbullying, and this is obviously something that has to be avoided. Unidentified men have also been hacking into online classes to post obscene videos. And also, vital soft skills are something that are lacking in people who study only through online media, such as integrity, ethics, focus, teamwork. Something that we need to consider before we completely decide to
Time.
online learning.
Time.
All right, now that the introductions are done, let's go on with the rebuttals. Okay, let both the teams complete their sentences. Okay, let's have that much of respect. And yeah, let's begin with the rebuttal. Any other rules to be followed, Joel?
So at 45 seconds, I will tell you all time, and at 90-second mark, I'll tell you all final time. So
Okay.
we'll stick to that lingo.
Yeah. So let's begin now.
Opposition begins, right?
Yeah, the opposition
Yes,
goes
always.
first.
All right. So, what are the alternatives that the proposition side can offer to people who don't have access to online learning?
Right?
Should I repeat the question?
Yeah.
What are the alternatives that the proposition can offer to people who don't have access to online learning?
The people who don't have access to online learning, for them government will bring many amendments in their law, and they will put forth many policies. Government is working for that, and it's not that you necessarily need a laptop or a PC for online education, but it can be done through smartphones, and everybody nowadays have smartphones phones and access to internet. So that thing is pretty much available to many people.
Time.
Other than that, I would also like to mention about the cybersecurity that lady mentioned. Cybersecurity, yeah, surely is a problem. But when in our SFIT online education system, there's one who maintains all the technical things. There's a mentor, teacher, and then there are students. So if there's a proper functionality, there's proper organization, I don't think cybersecurity and sextortion in an online class is that much seen.
Are we allowed to answer that, or is it their turn to ask a question?
Okay, your 90 seconds are up. Or the first round of the rebuttal round.
You can do
Now
both
we have
actually.
the second round.
Let it be free flowing. It is no hard and fast rule that somebody has to answer or not. Let it be free flowing.
Okay, so I'd like to ask the proposition that don't they think that they're taking a bit of an idealistic view that the government can just magically give internet access to people even in villages who don't have smartphones? I'm not sure I agree with the fact that everybody has smartphones.
There are many NGOs and they are providing smartphones for the students who actually want to learn, and also the internet exists. So if the student actually want to learn, he can do it in any way.
And I'll add to that very respectfully. Like when we have a problem of rural electrification in almost a major part of the country, especially when we talk about developing countries, I believe that giving smartphones is the least of the problem, whereas getting them the access to it through forms of electricity or even granting them like proper uh, syllabus, right? Because right now we are making students, especially in the rural areas, watch devices for a long time, deviating them from what their actual play of work or something that will de-strain them. So I guess this is not a viable option.
Yeah, surely what you mentioned, I think you're saying, I believe that we are talking about future, right? So we are not talking about present. Obviously, all of these new policies, these amendments, and all of these changes will take some time. And since we are debating about the future, so I think, yeah, we have 10 to 20 years, and I believe on my Indian government that they will do something to provide to underprivileged students as well, as you mentioned, that they don't have these
90
facilities
seconds.
about electricity and stuff. So yeah, I think we are talking about the future, so it is possible.
Okay, the second rebuttal round is done.
All right.
So we will now be moving in for the closing speeches. We will first have the opposition go in for the closing speech, followed by the proposition. Your time limit is 1 minute.
Yeah. So thank you all. It was a very good speech from both sides. What we believe as the opposition, that keeping aside, picking apart from like developing countries or keeping in view of the future, even when we talk about rural electrification, there is a lot of scope here that cannot be reached. Okay, when we talk about online learning, there is a lot of places that we can pick apart, especially when we've talked about in terms of security access. If anyone can access our meetings in which we try to talk about our private things, or we talk about certain syllabus and getting it leaked out, that is not safe for anyone, especially when we talk about intrapersonal skills. I mean, I would like to talk to my friends and in a very good environment rather than being closed and switching off our cameras, or not even switching off our mics. That is not viable at all. We believe that it only through online face-to-face learning that we can come up and be more viable in the world, being more employable, especially when the world
45
requires more
seconds.
communication skills and teamwork. And that is all I have to say.
Well said.
Okay, so
60 seconds. Go ahead, proposition.
okay, so when we have heard the both sides of the online classes, I will go with, like, not just in developing countries, but this pandemic has affected the whole world. So online classes have become the only source of education, and obviously online classes are more comfortable because we can study from anywhere in the world, also in our flexible time limit, and it can improve our skill set, our knowledge, and also we can study additionally by, like, some people can have their education completed with working as well. So there's online education, and not just for students, but also for the ones who actually have not gained the education during their times, but can study at the age limited. Like, there's no certain age limit for online studies.
You have 15 seconds more if you want to add anything or close.
Can I
You're lagging and your time is up for 60 seconds. Okay, so our first debate has been concluded. We will give time, we'll give 5 to 6 minutes for the judges to deliberate on this course, followed by which we'll be moving ahead to the second debate. Thank you, Mervin, Anushka, and Sanika, and Simran for participating.
Thank you.
Yeah, may the best team win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so for the next round of debate, we'll be having Brijesh and Akash versus Ria and Almas. So their topic is Facebook relevant anymore for the urban class? And Brijesh and Akash are for the topic, and Ria Almas are against the topic. So we'll take a break for 2 minutes. Once our judges are done deliberating, we will go on to the second debate.
The next team can like switch on their videos.
Praveen sir, any advice for them? I feel you're gonna have a lot of advice to give today after the first one.
Bro, प्रवीण सर को पहले मार्क्स एंटर करने दे.
Let me enter that.
Yeah.
Okay, Lenin, what's your opinion?
See, if they're listening this, they should listen to this. Honestly, y'all are having it's like y'all are having a conversation between yourself. It's just that your ideas are different. So, Anushka, you were mentioning like they are accessing this, right? Joel.
Yes.
Okay. So Anushka, you were mentioning like they don't refer to them as they. You're not talking to me. You're debating with them. You're not debating with me. So that was the first thing. Second thing, bring in some stats. So this was the only topic in which y'all could have brought a lot of stats amongst the others. Like there are very few topics in all of the topics which are provided wherein you can bring stats. So there was one more thing. What y'all lacked is stats. There were no stats. Like Marvin, you are a seasoned fellow. You must know these
Yes.
things. Okay. And another thing is don't be scared. Yeah, you're just like speaking to your peers. It is like, and you're just along with people who are of your same age. Only Praveen sir is old over here. Other than that, everyone is just almost the same age.
अरे पासवर्ड डालो वो.
Okay, so
Not much old.
yeah,
Praveen sir is young at heart.
young at heart.
So,
Young
yes.
at heart, sir. Yeah.
No, never.
That all is fine, but I want to know your like online class routines. Like mine is waking up at 10, switching on TECMP and B, and then going back to sleep. Praveen sir, your lecture is at 12, so I am awake for that. Okay.
And even I'm also a little bit lazy because of that.
Joel, what's your routine like?
I'm going to refrain from commenting on that.
May I speak it or may I open it?
Yeah, yes.
Actually, I used to sleep by 2 or 3. So I have many works in between. So usual my sleep time is from 3 to 8.
Oh, but you're still there for the lecture. I mean, as opposed to the student base who gets up maybe 5 minutes before the class and just turns on the laptop and starts the lecture. I mean,
No,
that's one advantage we have as students.
Exactly. But I have to prepare for the lecture. That's the thing.
Definitely. So Praveen sir and Lenin, are you all done with scoring?
Wait a minute.
Y'all can do the total for yourself.
Second debate for the night between Brijesh Akash and Ria Almas. Ria Almas, please turn on your cameras.
Oh, wait a minute. What about the next?
Sir, it's there.
introducing the topic.
Proposition, please go ahead.
Yeah, Brijesh.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our topic here is Facebook relevant for the urban class anymore? So, yeah, it's very obvious. I mean, there are many, not many. I mean, I think each and every person in this college, not only in this college, everywhere, has known Facebook since I think their childbirth. It's been a lot of years since people have been using Facebook. Facebook's been a craze for people. Now it's not, it might not be trending. I mean, it might not be mainstream right now because there's Instagram, there's Snapchat, but Facebook was the one which had revolutionized. You know, it had totally revolutionized the social media presence. Facebook introduced how people can connect each other. It was the first, I think it was the first site which helped people connect socially
45 seconds.
using their emails. People could share their pictures, people could chat, people could play games. There was entertainment and everything on Facebook. Even now, there are a lot of people who still
60
prefer
seconds.
Facebook because people who stick to one thing, they don't try to learn new things. There are many people,
60
not
seconds,
only in
Rajesh.
this India. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I get it.
Okay, we can go for the opposition's opening statement.
Hello, everybody. With the emergence of the internet to the common people, social media became a boon. Initially, we had spaces like MySpace, Friendster, and Second Life. But what really changed the social media was Facebook. Ever since people have been using it, um, we have been argumenting on whether it is good or it is bad. There are so many pros and there are so many cons. We stand against the point that Facebook is relevant to the urban classes today because it is simply being used as a data collection service or a platform with too many transparency, failing to protect the real cause why it was built, that is networking. They say it is for networking, but in reality, they are using your data for different motives like manipulating advertising campaigns or manipulating political decisions. So we stand against the topic that Facebook is relevant in
45
today's case
seconds.
for the urban class.
And we have a 60-second mark. So we can proceed to our refutal round. The opposition gets to go first.
Okay, I'd like to point out something is that how would you deal when Facebook is actually giving off our personal information to certain companies? For example, the Cambridge Analytica, which that took place recently, 2016 for Trump's election. What do you say about that? By them giving off our information like that?
I have no idea about this because I mean, is it been proven that Facebook is the one who
See,
was releasing?
there
Because
has been a yes, it has been said that Facebook has used a tool that has helped Trump in his elections by giving off certain information, like private information, of 50 million users across Facebook, like just so he can help in the voting scheme. That Facebook has been used nowadays. Facebook has been used in a very political scenario. What do you say about that? What is your opinion on that?
honestly, I have no idea anything about Facebook being used in the political scenario because people there's never been a news of anything or a report that Facebook is being Facebook is being क्या बोलते हैं? I mean it's being blamed for something wrong. I mean, Facebook is a company which gives you $500 if you try to hack one person's account.
But how
But
is it relevant for the urban classes, people who are not hackers or people who are just using Facebook as a platform to share about their personal information or their photos daily? So, do you think that
90 seconds.
do you think it's good on the Facebook part that they're using our personal information for their own motives?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Our second round is going to start now. You can go ahead, Brijesh.
No, I think I just lagged out. I could not hear her question. Sorry.
Oh,
Do you
Almash, could
want?
you please repeat yourself?
Okay. So you said that Facebook provides like $500 or stuff like that if you're a bug bounty hunter, which I basically assume that's what you meant. So where does relevancy come for the urban classes for which we are discussing right
Uh,
now?
no, no. She said that they were being used for some political matters, or it was being pointed out. So I'm just saying that these could be rumors. I mean, I also heard that this is a company which gives $500. I just said so, but it could be a rumor. It's not. It might
But
not be
these are
very.
not rumors. They actually had a court proceeding for all of this, and they questioned uh, the company CEO and the like the board of managers. So these are definitely not rumors.
Uh, but I'm sure that the good things should obviously be comparatively people use them more because they know that they think that it's safe, and I don't think it is possible for someone to really be very convinced with these reasons and just leave Facebook. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna touch Facebook at all. It's very
Okay.
risky.
Can I ask you something? How do you know that the person you're chatting with is actually the person? See, basically, Facebook, other platforms have a principle where they use IDs to identify someone. Facebook just has names. So like there are many people with the same name. Whereas if you go to other platforms, you have only one person with the same with a different one person with one ID. You don't have many people with the same ID, right? So how do you know that the person you're chatting with is actually, for example, Ria Rodriguez? How do you know the person chatting with is actually Ria Rodriguez? It could be many Ria Rodriguez on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
turning out to
So
be an outdated platform. What do you say
yes,
about
yes.
that?
Yeah, I agree. It's an outdated platform, but since I don't know since how many years, but people have been using their names since it has started. So it was a time when people didn't use usernames. They didn't have a different name for themselves. They had the same name. So uh, there could be many people in India named Aditya. There are many people in India named
But how
Aditya.
is it
So
relevant for the urban classes?
I'm just trying to answer your question.
Yeah, but then based on that, you're saying how is it going to help? Like, how is it going to be there for the nowadays? Platforms are updating, things are moving on, and how is it going to be relevant nowadays for the urban classes? If this is a state with privacy, this is a state with the names, with lack of verification, how do you think they will cope up?
Um, I think it's simple because people will just keep on posting their photos irrelevant. Well, I mean, they won't be thinking that their lives could be jeopardized because they are just posting something. They won't think so much. I mean, whenever if you are you might be on Facebook, you might post something, you might not think that oh my god, my photos could be leaked to someone in US and they could just blackmail me for something. No, we don't go through things before we do it. We are humans after all. There aren't a lot of people who actually think so much just to post a photo.
There are other platforms that also offer posting of pictures, but however, the fact is that with lack of security, first of all, I told you, like I mentioned before, that Facebook was giving out private information of people, and they wouldn't really, so mean that whatever I'm putting on Facebook is actually being used behind my back. There's no guarantee that
Hello.
whatever I'm putting is only for my friends, for my viewers, for my people. They have been using it for their benefit, and how can you say that I want to give my information for their benefit? How could you put that out there?
It's not just about the safety. Yeah, I
30 seconds
agree.
left.
I agree that there could be chances of happening such things due to Facebook, but it can also happen in Instagram. There are a lot of social media sites. If someone wants to do bad to someone, I mean cybercrime, they have their ways. Let it be Instagram, let it be Snapchat, let it be Facebook. Anything can happen in any
Yeah,
social
and
site, no matter how protected
that's
it is.
time. Our
Okay.
refutal round is now concluded. We'll be moving in for the closing speeches.
Um,
So our opposition gets to go first, followed by which we can go with the proposition.
Okay, so I'd like to conclude by saying that I'm against the topic and that Facebook is not relevant for the urban classes because due to lack of security, because it's outdated and it needs to be updated. Third is businesses would not be able to cope up with this. And urban classes, especially like me, when I'm giving my information out, I don't think I'll be able to cope up with this platform. So I like to conclude by saying it's not relevant for the urban classes anymore.
Proposition? Proposition, kindly go ahead with your closing speech.
आकाश का वीडियो बंद है. आकाश का कुछ प्रॉब्लम है आई गेस इंटरनेट का.
Brijesh, would you like to fill? Akash, are we audible?
Yes, I'm audible.
Okay, would you please go ahead and give the concluding speech? Sorry, the closing speech.
Yes, I would like to say that Facebook is now useful for the moms and dads nowadays. Like older people are using Facebook, and it's very easy to them to like go through that. And Instagram is very like high tech for that. So I think it's very relevant for that. That's it.
Okay, so that concludes our second debate. I would like to thank Akash, Brijesh, Almas, and Ria for coming on and enlightening us and
It's
giving us
Vijay, actually.
different viewpoints of a topic which I think not something many of us we just let go of it or something which we don't ponder upon much. I would like to ask our judges, Lenin, Praveen sir, what was your take?
Actually, I really enjoyed it. Okay. And with regard to certain facts you mentioned about those facts, I really appreciate team number 4 for that. And your name is Rhea, right?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Rhea, never be much emotional while you are in a debate.
Sorry.
Okay. Never take it in an emotional point of view. Okay. And for the other team, okay, Brijay, try to understand the facts while you are in the debate. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you can't say that I don't know that particular fact. Uh, if you know the topic, then you should be okay. And the
Yes, sir.
issue of Cambridge Analytica, it is very popular, especially during the last election. Okay, even it is very relevant for the president election in America, and even you can even mention about the hate speech. Okay, and most of you fail to mention that the hate speech that is very relevant right now, because what is the stand of Facebook with regard to hate speech, especially from BJP leaders in India? Okay, so
Yes, sir.
you can even add that point. I'm talking to uh, both teams, not only to him. Okay, Lennon, can you please add something? And it's good. It's good. I really enjoyed it, and even the presentation style, almost okay. And only thing is, never take it in a personal or emotional way. Okay, that's all. Lennon, can you please? He's totally expert with regard to this.
Okay,
Lenin, please go
so
ahead.
with this one, y'all had a lot of news headlines y'all could have brought in because just a week ago there has been a lot of news regarding Facebook supporting hate speech and propaganda. Okay, and they have been under serious, what do you say? There's been a lot of issues with them for that. They have been questioned here as well, and they are being questioned in US right now. Right now about it for propagate like for promoting hate speech in India. So that was one thing for Ria your side. Also regarding the Cambridge Analytica thing, it is everywhere, man. I mean, there's a movie on Netflix about it. So obviously you can, even if you like just type Facebook, you get Cambridge Analytica there. Other than that, where the proposing team could have done better was, even if you all would have brought in the number, like I mean, it has something like 17.3 billion users per day. Facebook has, okay, and they earn something 1.73 billion dollars a day. Like just those numbers would have been enough for you all to even win this debate. Like, because when you bring in stats, it makes a huge difference rather than just sharing your points, because stats are facts. And for all the other people also who are going to be in the debates, never say you don't know. Never ever say you don't know, because you're given the topic 5-10, even if it is 5-10 minutes earlier, you have enough time to prepare about it. That is more than enough. Never ever say you don't know anything. But all in all, it was a very good debate. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's good.
Great, great. Thank you for your valuable feedback, Lennon. And yeah, please go ahead, Lennon and Praveen sir, to scoring our second debate.
The second matchup can like switch off their videos, and the third matchup can switch on their videos.
So for our third matchup, we have Team Luke and Kunal versus Team Jason and Matthew. So their topic is, are memes the new source of misinformation? And Luke and Kunal, they're going to speak against the topic, and Jason and Matthew are going to speak for the topic. So I'd request our four debaters to kindly turn on your cameras. We have Jason, we have Kunal, Luke, Matthew. Hi guys, glad to have you all on board. Lennon and Praveen sir, if you all are done with the scoring, can we move ahead with the third debate?
Yes.
Great. So we now dive straight into the third debate. Over to you all guys.
Look, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay.
Yes, audible, Jason.
Okay. I start now?
Yes, you can.
Good evening, everybody. We are here today to talk about whether memes are a viable source of news to everyone in today's day and age. So firstly, what are memes? Memes are a method by which we spread information across the internet in a very easily conveyable manner, mostly in a comedic sense. They are a source of happiness, inspiration, joy, and at times they are the bearer of bad news for all of us. Memes help us understand different ideologies, thoughts, and also trends from all across the world in a very quick pace. Due to the internet, a large amount of population has access to this source of information. Now, considering these attributes, we can say that memes are a source of news for a large amount of people and can also be considered comparable to other mainstream sources of media.
Okay, the proposition can go off with your opening speech.
Am I audible?
Yes, audible, Luke.
Yeah. So I just want to start by saying that what is news? So news is giving something noteworthy or noteworthy information to the general public, which is important for the public and for the information of the public. But memes is a hilarious form of, it's an entertainment. It's the main point of memes is to, it's like an enjoyment. So people watch memes or read the clips or whatever memes, different types of memes, there are videos and photos. It's just for entertainment. There's nothing related to news on it, and it can never come or never give anything related to news. It might give something about the news, but it cannot have or give a complete news on any topic.
45 seconds.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back to you on that.
Sorry, Jason. This is the opening round, the opening speech. So there's no rebuttals over here.
Okay, so that was my opening speech.
Okay, thank you, Luke. So we'll move into the refutal round. The opposition gets to have a start.
Okay, so I would like to start with a question, a very common question. So video memes are of 60 seconds. The length of is 60 seconds, and the characters of the text which are used in memes are like 125 characters. Are you sure that you can give details of news details about anything, such as the recent plane crash or any incident which happens, like the Lebanon bombing, in that 60-second video?
Okay, I'd like to get back to you.
Let me tell you that there is this concept of keywords when we are using memes, and memes are more of a graphical representation. And in memes, when we make memes, we use images more than we use words to depict the scenario that has occurred. And one more point I would like to pop out is that I strongly go against your term that we absolutely get no news from memes, because so many of our news, our meme pages offer important headlines like the death of Kobe Bryant, for one of them, was quite a popular meme that was made. Okay, and I'm not talking about it in a comedic sense. So I would like to ask you, in the current scenario, in the current world, what would you define as a completely notifiable, verified news source?
So news source. So meme are created by multiple people. Even I can create meme. Even you can create meme. News sources. Now it's up to the person who, what his ideologies are, what he. So there are many news channels. Even in India, there's Republic TV, there's India Today, there's CNN. There's, so if you are, if I don't want to say any political of this, so if you lean towards right, so you might go to Republic TV. You might get your news from Republic TV. But if you lean to the left, or if you're open-minded, you might go to other news channels like India Today and there's Times of India. There's many news channels and newspapers which give news. The main part of news is to give detailed information about certain topics and to the general public. Memes are just jokes for to be shared on your WhatsApp group.
Hi, can I just get in one point? How can you verify that what memes are giving are actually true?
So
as anybody can create them, anybody can give false information. How can you make sure that what you're giving, what I'm reading, is it true?
Well, I'd like to get back by saying, when you watch any mainstream news channel, how do you know that's true? Do you have any proof whether that's
news,
true? Let me reply.
That's their profession.
Let me reply.
Yeah, I would like you to please.
News people are not randos who are just giving stuff.
So, okay, so let me tell you that since you talk about how news is so verifiable, have you heard about the recent incident where Trump, in a presidential interview, mentioned that laundry detergent is helpful against COVID? You heard that, I suppose. So I'm going to tell you also this, that not all news sources are verifiable. And you say that memes are just laughter to be spread on WhatsApp. Let me tell you that quite often important messages are spread by memes, and memes are an indirect source of news.
And
when we hear about such news articles, let me finish. When we hear about such news articles, we, in our common sense, will need to verify it using Google or any other method that you want. Like you could go to the news and verify it if you so please. So yes, any news source will first need to be verified and the thing checked.
Well, not only any news source, but any other source of news from any mainstream media needs to be verified.
So you're saying after we read memes, we have to go back and check the news.
Yeah, one second, Kunal. So you're saying that you have to verify the news. The whole point of news channels is to give verified news. There are many. That's what I said.
So
right?
memes
there
are basically
many news
telling
There are
channels.
many instances at which news channels have reported wrongly just for.
Yeah. So I'm not saying. That's what I'm saying, right? So it's the person has to decide which news channel he would like to go. So there are many news channels. I told you, Republic TV and all. It's the person, what kind of ideologies, what kind of political views the person has. So the person will go to that news channel.
But I think we're straying away from the topic right now. So I feel like the matter is basically which source is spreading information. Now, of course, news does spread information, but the matter is that memes do tell us about what's happening across the world. Memes tell us, and not only just tell, but make it more interactive for us and help us create communities where we can discuss more about all these matters and basically spread news faster.
So you're saying memes are less, it gives you a short form of the information, right?
Yep.
Like the entire, what are news headlines? So news headlines are the same thing. So it just gives the entire news. So
I
when
think you prove my point then, right? Memes are basically like news headlines.
1 minute to go.
I'm saying, so memes, there is only particular characters you can say, 120 characters. That's the most you can use in a meme.
But I think there's a specific limit for news headlines on TV.
Do you agree that memes are also a form of humor?
What? Can you repeat that?
Do you agree that memes are a form of humor?
Yes, I do agree. I think everyone agrees with that.
Do you agree that there are dark jokes?
Yes.
So on serious cases, what's your take that when memes,
30 seconds to go.
Well, that is a moral issue. That is an ethical and moral issue.
Yes.
As long as the debate is about the news reaching the audience. And I think memes definitely convey the news
is also twisted in a way, right? The news is also twisted in a way.
But it is reaching the audience.
That's why we go for the process of verification.
The memer will do anything just to get a laugh out of the person who's reading it.
Go to many news channels nowadays.
Yeah, so
okay, that's time. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, Jason, Matthew, Luke, and Kunal, thank you for coming on the platform. Wow, that was quite a charged debate we had there. I thought I was just going to go into, the Republic TV style Arnab Goswami and the nation wants to know. Lenin and Praveen, sir, please go ahead. What's your views?
We still have the
Closing
conclusions
statement
left.
नहीं देना है क्या?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
still have the
we have
conclusions left.
I'm so sorry. I jumped that. I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Please
Let's
go on
have
to
the
closing statement.
conclusions.
I think I have to go, right?
Yes, the opposition gets to go for the closing statement.
Okay, so are memes a viable source for news? Okay, that's a joke in itself. News is something which is important, and important things can't be given in the form of a joke because they are serious matters, and joke in itself is a form against it. And so news platforms give you recent events which have occurred, and they have journalists out there who get news which are verified and then they give it to the public. This is an important thing. People, they go through the information and then they give what they think is useful for the public. Memes are just people who watch news and then they give it to the public via their jokes.
45 seconds.
That's it.
Okay. Proposition, you can conclude.
Okay, just before I start, I think I have a network problem. Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you're visible and audible, Matthew.
Okay, thank you. So, in conclusion, I would like to point out that the life we live is a very fast-paced one. Quite often, we do not even get to see and take the time to read news articles. And it is during these moments when we can flip open our phone, open an app like Instagram or something, go through memes, go through the news articles, whatever your source of information is, and we can find out just what has gone on, what is going on. Another important point is memes help us to keep up with the current trends and culture across the world. Now, man is a social animal, so I don't think you can deny the fact that we need to keep up with the current events. And memes, in the end, are an important source telling you that something has occurred. Whether it is good, bad, or false, it is up to you to verify it. Thank you.
Okay. Now it's safe to say that the debate is finally concluded. Okay. Thank you so much for coming in, all our four debaters. Yeah, please, Lenin and Praveen, sir, go ahead. What's your views? What are your opinions?
Well, let's hear Praveen sir first.
Praveen, sir, you're muted.
Okay. I thought that I'm just watching Republic TV. So that is my overall experience with regard to this. And while one is speaking, okay, this is a common guidance to everyone. I'm not criticizing anyone. When one is speaking, give him time. Okay, please don't interfere unnecessarily. Okay, that is a kind of presentation style that we have to follow while we are in debate. Okay, that is a basic aspect I just want to convey. Okay, and because of that, I heard many sounds in between. Okay, I heard many people speaking in between. So if such a thing happened, we are unable to hear or we are unable to listen you properly. So that is the basics. And be calm. Okay, and be you. Okay, and never take things in an emotional manner. I mentioned it to some other students. Okay, and from your tone I can understand that you are taking things to some personal or some emotional level. Okay, never happen that. Okay, Lenin will carry on with that.
Yeah, that was sorry, Luke and his partner. Don't be too much carried away with things. That's it's very important to keep your tone in check. It's very important to keep your body language in check, because from that you can just understand the other person is like, you are irritated by what the other person is saying. So don't let them understand and read your emotions. That is the first thing. Second thing, again, a lot of stuff was here and there. It wasn't like to the point, like not specifically related to the content also. Jason, one good thing about pointing it out, come back to the topic, there was one good thing that came out of. I liked the introductions and the conclusions. All in all, it was a very feisty, fiery debate, and it was fun. I hope even y'all had fun. But from the next time onwards, just be a little more calm. Okay, I know, but y'all did good. Y'all did good. Let's wait for the results then.
Thank you so much, Len. Uh, oh,
And
okay,
for body language thing, kindly refer uh, that communication skill classes. If you have
they should have paid attention BC.
exactly BC or even communication skills, and right now it is PC, professional communication ethics.
Right. Okay, so and in the meanwhile, while Lenin and Praveen sir score our third round debaters, let's just introduce the fourth round debaters. So this is going to be the final debate of the night. It's going to be between team Urvanch and Nilanjan, who are going to be for the topic, and they are going to play against Joshua and Ryan, who are against the topic, and their topic is social media the new tool for political extremists? So yeah, we are looking for hopefully no controversies. Hopefully it's going to be a clean match. And Praveen and Levin sir, if you all are done, can we move ahead?
Praveen and Lenin, sir, it's correct.
Praveen sir and Lenin. Oh my.
No need to call me sir. You can call me Praveen. No issues in that.
Got it, sir.
Okay.
Just give me some time.
Surely. In the meanwhile, do we have all the cameras of the participants? Joshua's great. Nilanjan and where's Urvansh? Okay, great. So we have all the cams turned on. I hope you are ready with all your pieces of material or your debating facts. And let's hope this stays as non-controversial as possible. We don't want any issues tomorrow on social media or
This is on YouTube, Joshua, especially for you.
Yes,
this
Joshua.
is live on YouTube. Please, sir.
One life. We got one life.
Use it wisely. Okay, so we will go ahead for our fourth debate. Urvansh Nilanjan versus Joshua and Ryan. So please go ahead. We'll have the opening speech by the proposition.
Am I audible?
Yes. Nilanjan, you're audible.
Perfect. So yes, me and my team, we do feel that social media is a new tool for the rise of political extremists. Now, how do I say this as a fact? Now, let's look at India. Now, in India, you have political extremist right-wing groups, such as the Gauraksha group, who validate the mob lynching on a person just because they were supposedly having beef. So it was not true, but they somehow validated the fact that it is okay to mob lynch a person. Let's look at foreign countries such as Sweden, who have always had a positive immigration status. Now, suddenly, one specific minority does something wrong, and it is bolstered and it is shown to the entire world as if that there is a certain planning going on amongst the minorities to take over the majorities. This is something that is very wrong, and then there are right-wing groups that are springing up, taking social media and then portraying to people that yes, there is something wrong with the minorities, and we are suddenly being harmed. And so this is one huge thing that's happening. There are about 2.4 million Balkan refugees who were displaced in the 1990s, and they were all welcomed into Sweden. However, right now, when you're looking at the Syrian war, there are very few amount of Syrian refugees going into Sweden and actually getting a stable life.
Thank you, Nilanjan. The opposition team can go for the opening statement.
Okay, good evening. I would like to start by saying social media is not a new tool for political extremists, but it's a new tool for the freedom of expression of the entire political spectrum. We've had dictators, extremists, leftists, writers throughout our human history. But today it is looked down upon, and we know it is not right because we can see the entire perspective of people throughout the world who can exercise the act of freedom of expression using social media. Political extremism has been pushed since ages using newspapers, ad agencies, TVs, which has only one-way communication, which we are led to believe is authentic, but this is easily manipulated, thus making a powerful way to spread political extremist agendas. Whereas social media, on the other hand, has the powerful tool of comments, where every post is countered with different opinions in the comments. Since the narrative is not constant, hence it is not a stable medium to spread political ideology. Social media is an social media is an ever-changing medium which keeps introducing new rules and regulations and new ways of communication, which keeps on getting better based on countering fake news and extremist agendas,
60
and also
seconds.
locating and punishing people doing this. Thus, democracy, decentralized opinions is an important outcome of social media, and thus it is not
60
effective in
seconds,
propagating
Ryan.
one-sided stories.
Wow. Okay, so that was the opening, and now we'll go in for the refutal round. The opposition gets to go ahead.
Okay. So other sources of information like TV, newspapers, political rallies are more centralized and more controllable by powerful political groups. So do you think this is as effective as social media?
Yes. First of all, I'd like to say that social media is having a huge effect. I stated example of the Sweden. In Sweden, previously you didn't have much of anti-immigration laws, but right now you have the right wing on rise, and they're throwing people out left and right, which is extremely wrong. Now, why do I think political rallies, television, newspapers, these are not such a big factor? Because the person who's printing, there is a source. You can catch the person who's actually printing those things. Whereas on social media, you're easily able to create high quality stuff at low prices and have a huge outreach. Advertisement on social media is very cheap. Previously, you had people, let's talk about internet. Internet was created as a free space for everyone to easily discuss. Now, there were previously chat rooms, and then you had emails coming in. The algorithms developed, but however, on social media, you cannot have, you have to have a physical person go through each and every single post and censor it out. So yes, this is why I feel social media is much more, has a huge amount of penetration, because you cannot catch the individual who created the post, and it's very easy, very cheap, and very effective medium.
Yeah, you actually
Just
do
to
not.
add to Nilanjan, consider yourself as a political extremist. It is so easy for you to spread news and all in a social media account. As it is consider you as a youth, it is the best way possible to reach you. And there are many sources like memes and anything in which I can like brainwash you and everything. So it is a very good marketing strategy according to me.
Yeah, but no matter how new it is, I mean, social media is new, but it has been countered very fast. I mean, today, based on some few incidents, we have seen many tools that have come up to counter such spreading of fake news and everything. And plus, everyone is educated now. Everyone knows that people are using this as a bad medium to communicate fake news and everything. So I feel today people are using the news medium, I mean, of TVs, rallies, etc., and they believe that more than social media. So because of proper education, do you think that's wrong?
Okay, first of all, let's look. Since we are in India, let's talk about India. In India, you have huge amount of people who are uneducated, who do not know any basic thing, but they have a smartphone in their hand. They're easily able to open social media and look into it. Just if you just open Facebook and start, you just create a very simple account and you can start looking at feeds. Now, what happens is these people, these specific people, are targeted by small videos. And Google stated in Q4 of 2018, 7.7 million videos were extremely radical. And all it needs is one video to go through, and the person's mind is completely brainwashed. We saw this in the attack of 2018 New Zealand church, Christchurch, where the video was live streamed and all the youth saw this and were scared. So this is why I say social media is a new thing. It is a new tool, obviously. And the algorithms that have been developed are not properly countering. How? There are certain Islamic racist groups who have created, who initially started with beheading videos. For example, ISIS. They have slowly moved over to a more religious-based video where they try to portray that their religion is better than anyone else. And this has happened similarly on the right-wing Hindu side, where people have said killing a person just because they killed a cow is perfectly correct.
Yeah,
and also to add like to Nilanjan points and cover
Urvansh, can we have a discussion?
Yeah,
Can
okay.
you get to speak?
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, basically, whenever anything like this happens, whenever a video is propagated, there is something powerful on it called comments, where everyone posts their opinion and everyone says something. And because of that, people have like a full wide spectrum of opinions. It's not just one opinion that is being pushed over there, and people know it's wrong. So, I mean, yeah, they can make a well-educated guess from social media. So it's not really ideal for...
The way the Instagram is built, let's take example of Instagram. Instagram, you scroll through it. You do not actually interact. You just double press and you like it. The comment section is put at the bottom left. It is the least noticeable place. And that is the last thing you're going to click. You're going to either slide up or you're going to slide down, because psychology says that you're going to use your thumb mostly, and your thumb is going sliding up and sliding down. So comment section is rarely used. If you see it, the views, 55, 60, 80, 90K views. How many comments? 200, 300, 400. How many people do you think actually go down to the comment section, read the comment section, and actually have a civil discourse?
Yeah. So adding to that thing, see, the point here is not key ideas can be spread out. The point is it used for only political extremists? It is used only for that. Our point is, it is not only that. You get to see the huge. When you talk about only news, you talk about this thing, it's only one-sided. Here you get an overall opinion. Yes, we are getting now the one thing. Okay, you see the news today, you see what's trending on social media. There's nothing constant. There is not one narrative that goes. Today people are talking about this thing, today people are talking something else. You're talking about the lynching, you came to know about the lynching and you came to know about it's wrong is because of social media. It's because it was not one ideology that was put forward. There are other people who are supporting this. When you talk about the in our country, there were a lot of laws that were passed by the government. If it was not a medium where people could talk, where people could spread this thing, it would never come out. You have to look at the perspective of volume. You have to look at the perspective of how, as social media, this thing is countered.
Okay, so Joshua, you're telling that Instagram is a like a very mass public thing. So like you're just proving a point that it is the best platform to for the like political extremists. And to cover Ryan's topic, like he told that there are several algorithms that detect such spam things, and there are in comment section we can do. So take any example of a like a trending meme or anything. If I launch it today, then to ban it, it takes a minimum 3 to 4 days, and 3 to 4 days is enough to cover a very huge crowd. And like that's the main motive of political extremists. So how is it bad?
Yeah, but then it is reported after 3 to 4 days, and people come to know that it's wrong, right? So that creates a more bigger impact on a person's mind that it was reported and blocked.
And also, it's not only that side opinion. There are opinions from both sides that come in. You're focusing on only one narrow aspect. You cannot look at one side of the cake and say this is the entire thing. So the point is that.
But what I'm trying to say is 55,000 people actually have seen the video. How many of them will come back and will actually look that the video is wrong and it has been proved completely baseless, factless, and pointless? How many of those are going to actually look back at it? And when you're told about Instagram, there are so many good things that are on Instagram. But let me tell you, you go to one specific right-wing page, you search about that, you search a little bit more into it, and suddenly you're getting your entire feed filled with right-wing, left and right. You're just getting constantly bombarded with posts. Now, this is what I especially hate. The algorithm is actually working for this extremist group by suggesting more and more and more extremist stuff. If you just
You'll have
go
30 seconds left.
Yeah,
but go onto YouTube and search up a small extremist writing or some just anything that's violent, you'll instantly start getting a back to back recommendation of even more and more and more violent. My question is, if there's an algorithm that protects the people, then why is the algorithm not working here?
So basically, you just said it in the comment section. There's left and right. It's not just one political spectrum.
No,
so
I said left and right. You're getting posts. You're getting suggestion of posts left and right.
Yeah, so exactly. Not that. That's what. Not one political spectrum is spread over there. There's a full opinion space over there.
You got me wrong. I didn't say political.
And this is the time.
I said back and forth. I meant back and forth.
Niranjan, that's time.
Okay.
Please, you all can start with your concluding statements.
Okay, so the opposition has to go first, right?
Yes, the opposition goes first.
Okay, so we still stand by a statement that social media is not a new tool for the political extremism. When we discussed about the volume, when we come out to social media, we have more and more people coming into the discussion, and more people's opinions are coming out. Since it's not one narrative that stays constant, it's a flow of different opinions. So it's very difficult for a extremist ideology to stay constant and say the uphold over there. So by social media, it has all other spectrums. Everyone's opinions come into the play, and it cannot be a proper tool for spreading propaganda.
Proposition, you can go ahead.
Okay, so see, I just want to conclude on my point. See, just consider yourself as a like an extremist. What do you choose, a news channel or a social media for There's a disturbance.
Kindly mute audience members. Kindly mute yourselves. Sorry, Vansh, please go ahead.
It just crossed 5 seconds, so I'll restart the time.
Yeah, Vansh, please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, so I was like, consider yourself as a like extremist. What will you choose, a news channel or a social media to target the audience? Like that's the main perspective. And if you are talking about that, they will come back and report that meme or anything like other news. Bro, it's just a game of 3 days. After that, everything is like any other thing is spreading and everything. Like this is the main thing. Like you can spread. You can also like you can literally do brainwash of anything. Like this is a great marketing strategy, as Nilanjan also tell about everything. Yeah.
Okay, so that marks the end of the closing statement and the end of this debate. Thank you, Joshua, Ryan, Urvanch, and Nilanjan, for a really feisty round of debate and I think, getting the entire day one to an appropriate ending. So thank you all for coming on board. Uh, Lenin and Praveen, sir, what are your thoughts?
Actually, it's a wonderful session. I really enjoyed it, and I really I want to appreciate your spirit. Okay, hats off. And with regard to Nilesh and Urvansh, actually, oh sorry, Nilanjan. I'm really sorry. Okay, so Nilanjan, I appreciate your spirit and your way of talking and even your presentation style. Okay, hats off. And Urvansh, while you speak, you have to
Yes, sir.
adjust your face. Okay, you have to adjust your face, not face. Okay, that means the speed. Okay, so it is very difficult to understand if you are saying something in a very great speed. Okay, so never do that. And even with regard to Rayan, that
Yeah.
introduction. Okay. Even I found that
I had a lot of points.
yeah, you have a lot of point, but you have to identify what to say, what not to say. Likewise, okay. If you're trying to say each and every point, then it will be difficult for others to understand. I thought that you're reading something. Okay. Initially, I thought
No, I
you're
just
okay. I just initially I thought it like that. So never do it accordingly. Okay. And anyway, the argument of both team, it was superb. Okay, I really want to appreciate that. Okay, so Lenin, please.
Yeah, I'll begin with the introduction parts. Nilanjan, amazing introduction. I mean, it was one of the finest introductions I've ever seen. Okay, like, I mean, that was really, really great. With regards to Ryan, yeah, it did seem like you were reading, honestly. Maybe you had a lot of stuff to say, but always get only the keywords. It's not really necessary to say a lot of things in that 1 minute time. Okay, and another thing with Nilanjan is like you have to control your speed of speed also when you speak. You also have to look a bit on that. Yeah, you're very good at it, you're doing it great, but still, if you control it a little bit, it'll be even better. The same for Ryan, you were very, very fast. Also, one more thing about Ryan and Joshua, there was a little less coordination between y'all, as in there were times when Joshua wanted to speak and the other person just went over it. So make sure y'all have that coordination also in between y'all, just a sign or something like that. So you don't overlap each other. And all in all, it was good. Urvansh, work on your conclusions, please. Okay. Otherwise, amazing debate. Like I loved the part of, and there were quite some good facts by Nilanjan also, and even the way y'all countered it, amazing, amazing.
Okay, I think Joshua, your mom is the culprit. I think so. Anyway, you manage the situation. Okay, the same happens when I take lecture. Okay, these are the usual strategy of our moms. What to do? Okay, let it be. Okay.
Great. Thank you, Praveen, sir, and Lennon, for your valuable insights. And I'd like to thank all our debaters for keeping a really clean and a healthy discussion, and all our audiences too. Thank you for coming in. And I know you all are excited to know the winners, but I am going to take a leaf from from many of our Indian daily soaps, and I will request you all to tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. to know the winners of day one and who all are going to go in for the semifinals and the finals. So we're going to have both the two rounds tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So yeah, you'll want to see the winners. Kindly come in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I would like to thank all of you all for being here and have a good night.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Joshua.
Hello.
Good.
Joshua.
It's good debate.
Whole